Meanwhile, we will soon see crowds outside the U.S. Supreme Court ready to protest President Trump's travel ban. Among the demonstrators, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who plan to call on the president to reverse his executive order on immigration. Tonight's protest comes as legal resistance to the travel ban mounts. Joining me now to discuss this and much more, Supreme Court biographer and CNN legal analyst Joan Biskupic. Joan, thanks for joining us. Do you see challenges to the travel ban potentially going all the way up to the Supreme Court?
I do, Jake. In one form or another, they're coming that way, either on the big constitutional questions having to do with just whether the president has this kind of power to exclude people, perhaps based on religion, or they could come up even sooner with just these the injunctions that have already been filed. But one way or another, it's headed to the Supremes.
Now, of course, President Trump, we're told tomorrow night, will announce his Supreme Court nominee. Do you have any feeling as to who it might be?
Okay, well, I think we're down to 3, and I can tell you that right now I can see on your screen Neil Gorsuch, judge from Denver, probably be the most traditional kind of judge that he would put on. Ivy League credentials, someone who's a inside the beltway sort of person. He started as a Senate page in Washington, even though he's like 4th generation Coloradan. He would be, I think he's probably the sort of person that the Republican establishment would want. Thomas Hardiman has a more dramatic story. He started as drove a cab as he got himself through law school, first person in his family to go to law school. But Jake, if you're talking about controversy like what we've seen over the weekend and what we could see going forward, William Pryor of Alabama would be President Trump's most controversial nominee because he's been so strong against abortion rights and same-sex marriage, gay rights. I think he would be the one that would be true red meat for the liberals.
Now, of course, there's this theory out there that if President Trump picks a more moderate nominee, that would comfort Justice Kennedy and might serve as a way of encouraging him to retire. Thus, Trump would get another pick. This is the parlor game we engage in Washington, D.C., as you know. Is that based on anything?
Well, it's based on this. Anthony Kennedy is 80 years old. He's wanted to step down for a while. I think that finding someone who's more moderate could maybe, especially someone who would carry out his legacy in the area of gay marriage and more moderate rulings, could hearten him. But I think Tony Kennedy is going to go when he needs to go. And as we've seen with him on rulings, he's prone to play Hamlet a lot with court rulings, and he'll probably do that with his retirement as well.
All right, Joan Biskupic, thank you so much.